Hello everyone, welcome back to A New Dawn. Let's go ahead and continue. It all started at Lake Valor. Well, technically it started when I got my first ribbon, but I guess that means it started when I was born. That's too far back. So it all started at Lake Valor. That's where I was in the Wallace Cup and won that ribbon I showed you before, remember? So naturally, they recognized Piplup and I when we came back. I got interviewed for a TV channel, which was pretty cool. There was also a big free food buffet, so you know, coordinator perks. That was pretty exciting, and the actual event hadn't even started yet. We bumped into all sorts of other trainers we met along the way, including Zoe, of course. Alright, and a girl named Ursula was there too. Who is the worst? Super mean and arrogant. So you whooped her butt, right? Absolutely. But we'll get to that. We had to win the first round first, remember? Which was a cinch, by the way. We were the final group of the whole round, so we had a lot of eyes on us. I picked Baneri and Cyndaquil, and we had a super awesome performance planned. So first, Baneri used Ice Beam to make a hole big. Okay, so it was like a fire. So Baneri made a big ice roller coaster in Cyndaquil, and Baneri slid along at him. Little yeah, the ice didn't melt. It was slid to the middle of the ice, and Cyndaquil made. It was awesome. Can you repeat that? Right. Sorry, let's try that again. Dawn took a deep breath before starting again, deliberately trying to pace herself as she explained her performance. Okay, so Baneri and Cyndaquil. Baneri uses Ice Beam to make a big ice roller coaster thing, and Cyndaquil uses Flame Wheel to make it a big slide. They both ride along it and meet in the center. And as the smoke clears, Baneri is an ice Pokeball while Cyndaquil uses the flames on his back to make wings. And that's super awesome and everyone loved it. I'll bet. That sounds like something out of a movie. And it just makes me imagine how quaint our little performance at this contest is gonna seem in comparison. Well, this is a small unofficial contest, so it's just for fun. I look kinda like a jerk if I tried something that extravagant in here. Events like this are great for beginners and to practice new ideas after all. I'm sure not an experienced tag team performer, so even if we tried something super showy, it'd probably backfire. And I'll once again state that I think that we come up with is pretty cool too. So it sounds like it's too bad that there was a second round. I don't see how something could beat Ice Roller Coaster. Yeah, I mean I won the whole thing for sure if that was the case. But yeah, the next round I battled that girl Ursula, and here's where the butt whooping took place. What was her first round like? Alright, she had her wait, no, it was a pair of EVs. She had them evolve in the middle of the performance, so I guess it was kinda cool. Sounds boring. Yeah, it was totally lame. Ours was way better. So anyway, I used Pachirisu and Mamoswine against her in battle. She had the Flareon that just evolved and a Gabite. Yeah. Gabite? What's that look like? Here, take a look. Oh, it's that guy. I've seen him around, I just didn't know his name. Gabite, the cave Pokemon. Gabite goes wild for precious jewels, first digging them up and then stashing them in its nest. Those evolve into Garchomp. Cynthia's got one of those, and saying that Raytop is putting it way too lightly. Ah, Cynthia. I know Cynthia. Not that Gabite isn't a toughie too, I'm not gonna lie. Ursula is a pretty strong trainer, so it wasn't an easy butt whooping. Her problem is that she doesn't have quite enough style in her battle techniques. Thinking outside the box is good for style and unexpectedness. We used the move I like to call Ice Chandelier against her. Mamoswine gave Pachirisu a protective layer of ice while he shot electricity out of it. It was sparkly and excellent, and partially responsible for our victory, and she had the nerve to call it dumb luck. Shh. Ain't nothing dumb or lucky about my skills, Missy. Yeah, that's true, Dawn. That's true. What are you smiling at? Oh, I just... your confidence. I kinda love it. Excuse me. And just to wait, we haven't even gotten to the finals yet. The finals? I rested my head in my hands, putting on an exaggeratedly interested expression, though my actual interest was far from exaggerated. Next round I was against a, I guess, frenemy of mine, Jesselina. She brought... Jesselina. Jessie... Huh. Anyway, she brought out a Severper and a Carnivine. You'll remember from my story before that I got a lot of experience battling against those two, so that battle wasn't actually all that close. Justelina said she'd be mad if I didn't win the whole thing, so sorry Jess, gonna have to keep you waiting a little longer on that one. I never did see her after that. And she didn't take the loss too hard. Even making it to Grand Festival is a really big achievement. Hey, maybe we'll see her in Unova. You can introduce her to your new tag team partner. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? I guess it's not impossible. I'm leaving home for the first time, so everything feels so new and different. But I'm sure I'll run into old friends here and there. Knowing Ash, I'll probably see him there too. I'd love to have you two meet. If we do, don't tell I'm bad at battles. Just let him challenge me and we'll see what happens. That is a great idea. I'll try to remember. Hopefully Scyther agrees. Well, what's that old saying? Throwing in at the deep end? Maybe it'll unlock Scyther's hidden powers. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Okay. So next is the final round. Of course, Zoe's my opponent, cause there's no way anyone else could beat her, right? You kinda guessed we'd be the two finalists before the tournament even started, you know? Turns out, we're right. So thus began the grand rival showdown. Dawn slammed her fist down on the chair for emphasis, making a louder sound than she probably intended. Sorry. A rival? I thought she was a friend. Friends can be rivals. Just means we are both competing for the same thing. Having a rival out in the world is a pretty good way to keep your skills progressing. I guess not everybody can have a great teacher to hang out with like I can. Right. So, Zoe was a great rival to keep me striving to be better. It's only natural we ended up facing each other in the finals. That's just good storytelling. So you are just making this up? I had my suspicions. No, I'm not. It was on TV and everything. And even got me the magazine to prove it. Dawn fished around in her backpack, producing the magazine I'd bought her earlier for Grand Festival coverage. Besides, I already know how long you stared at all the pictures of me in my dress, so I know you're just teasing. I rolled my eyes, shifting in my seat to get more comfortable. Our smug expressions met each other from across the space between us. It was a concentrated effort to not be outsmugged by Dawn, but I eventually conceded and leaned back a bit to let her continue. So there, now as I was saying... Decisive Rival Showdown, Dawn vs. Zoe. Working title. I opened up with Piplup and Togekiss, a brilliant tactical choice. But Zoe responded with our famous Glameow and Gallade combination. Man, it's been so long since I looked at Pokemon, I don't even know half of these. Before I even had a chance to ask, Dawn held her Pokedex up for me to see. Oh, okay, that one. Gallade. A blade Pokemon. And evolved from Recurlia. Gallade extends its elbows as if they were swords, and when protecting someone, it fights fiercely. Ah, I'm no Gardevoir. Quite well. Kinda sounds like Scyther, huh? Except way less cool, of course. It began with an Aura Sphere and Bubble Beam, countered by a devastating Claw and Cut combo, showering the field with sparkles. All good stories have sparkles. Zoe combined Signal Beam and Iron Tail, creating a spiraling whirlpool, to which we of course respond with our own. The attacks collide and create a beautiful display in the field. But we're far from finished. Togekiss attacks from the sky while Piplup and Gallade clash on the ground with blinding display. But suddenly Glameow gets atop Togekiss and starts to attack. Piplup responds quickly by dodging Gallade with a spin technique and knocks back Glameow with a Hydro Pump. Togekiss flies away with Piplup as our moves clash against each other across the arena. Togekiss approaches with Sky Attack, with Piplup riding along and using Peck. Then comes an electrified Psycho Cut from Gallade and Glameow, causing a big explosion in the center of the field. Our hero looks in awe as the smoke clears. Done? Hand? Oh, nothing. The story ends there. I desperately looked around for something to throw at her, eventually tossing my hat at the smirking girl across from me. She tossed it back, poking her tongue out at me, mocking me. And the smoke cleared, timer ran out, and the battle ended. Dawn and her friends had fought fiercely, but in the end Zoe had more points. And thus the ultimate contest battle had ended. Our hero defeated. Oh no. Yeah. Sadly, we only got second place our first time in the Grand Festival. So just imagine how well we'll do in our second attempt. They'll have to come up with a whole new category above first place. I gave it to a little golf clap for their wonderful rendition of the story, which I'd almost think they practiced ahead of time. Not that that's a story you'd forget anytime soon if you experienced it firsthand. I wonder how much a ticket to the Grand Festival costs. Alright, well that was pretty good. I never Scyther in it though, so 7 out of 10. Hey, not bad, not bad. I'll definitely try to be there to see in person next time. Looking forward to it. You being there, I mean. I guess both. I smiled back at Dawn as she caught her breath. Her eyes shifted around, clearly lost in thought. Back to that day. Hey wait, you're gonna be in the next Grand Festival with me, of course. You'll be there. I slouched forward, rolling out my eyes at her as she giggled. Scyther. Oh, he's riding, Piplup riding Scyther. And there they are now. Piplup perched on Scyther's shoulder as he approached us in his usual slumped fashion. Hey boys, enjoying yourself? Piplup. Scyther. I'll take that as a yes. So, sauna time? Sauna time. Dawn and I stumbled back into the sauna, immediately sapping me of all my energy. Scyther and Piplup followed suit, sitting on the floor and shutting their eyes pretty quickly. They both took up meditative poses in a way that they must have practiced for the last time we were here. I sat myself down in the corner of the room so I could lean against the wall and rest my legs up on the bench. It was comfortable for a second before Dawn hopped up into the spot I'd taken up and sat herself down, nearly sitting on top of my legs. Excuse me, you mind if I sit here? Oh boy, Dawn, of course I don't mind. I smiled back at her smirk as she made herself comfortable, or at least tried to. It didn't look very comfy for her as she shifted around on top of my legs. But I am not about to move. If you want to sit on me, you're very welcome to, Dawn. Well, how bold of us. She let out a yawn, leaning her head against the wall behind her, and lazily turning to look at me. Told you we'd get stuck here if we weren't careful. I'm the one who's stuck here. You trapped me. Yeah, well, you're comfy. And my body's not listening to me anymore. We're at the sauna's mercy. Well, I guess I can think of worse rooms to be at the mercy of. A jail? I was gonna say a dungeon. Oh yeah, that's way better. I'll take sauna any day. You know, the contest is coming up. We could be practicing for it. Right. Maybe tomorrow, huh? Sure. Or maybe we could just come back here and snooze. Dawn shifted her head a bit, her eyes drooping as she looked around the room. She looked over at your snoozing Pokemon and then back to me with another yawn. I think these guys have the right idea. I forced myself to smile. You wanna call it a day then? No. I mean, last time we were here we fell asleep, and it was pretty comfy, so I thought, you know, if you felt like it. You want a nap for a bit? She coyly nodded, shuffling around over my legs. I lay my head back, starting to shut my eyes before Dawn spoke again. Well, I had a comfy pillow last time. Oh. I smiled awkwardly, doing my best to move myself in an inviting way. I flattened my legs, sliding forward a bit and pulling my arms to my sides. Dawn seemed to understand as she scooted her way close to me along the bench until her legs rested against my stomach. I tensed up, scared to touch her in any way and make her reconsider. But she kept shifting around against me to make herself comfortable. Dawn took her boots off, leaving her long socks running up her legs, which had started to grow slick with her sweat. She sat still for a moment before slowly leaning down against my chest, putting her right arm around me against the wooden wall. She curled her legs up, relaxing them against my side. Her head warmly rested against my shoulder as she maneuvered her other arm to a comfortable spot in both of our laps. Is this alright? Yeah. You're cozy. I think that might be the sauna. I think it's you. It's taking all my focus to stay still and keep her comfortable. With the amount of adrenaline in me, there's no way I'd be able to fall asleep even if I wanted to. But I definitely don't want to. I try to steady my breathing, watching Dawn's head move delicately up and down against my chest as I inhaled and exhaled. Her head was right by mine. It took a while to work up the courage to lightly rest against her hat providing a little cushioning. I want to reach out and stroke her hair, but I don't dare bother her when she looks this cozy. I listen to her own soft breathing beneath me, feeling every little movement of her body against mine. I tried to ignore the heat of the room, but combined with the heat of Dawn's body wrapped around me, man, is it getting hot. And the heat of her body is all that's on my mind anyway. Doesn't matter. I'm not moving until she moves, at least. Hopefully there'll be never. As far as places to die go, this is a pretty nice one. I rubbed my eyes to once again adjust to the bright lights of the lobby I slept in. Not gonna miss this living arrangement. Maybe if we win that contest, I'll spend the money on a bed. A bed I can take with me. A wheel bed. Motor bed? These things should exist. Far! Pip Piplup. Uh-oh. Hey, we were just looking for ya. Piplup. On your way from your room? I didn't see you at our spot. Yeah, sort of. Sorry to keep you waiting. Guess I overslept. Makes sense. We've been working hard these past few days after all. We're not working you too hard, are we? Pip Piplup? No, of course not. Just, well, you know me. Yes, I do, sleepyhead. Ugh, I shouldn't lie to you, Dawn. Maybe I should actually talk to you about this. Anyway, no need to worry about it. You're here now, so stuff can commence. What's it feel like today? The contest is tomorrow, so today's our last day to practice. There's always more battle practice we could do. Of course, we could just take it easy today. What you think, mister? Well, I've only got 750 left, so with that in mind... let's see... We definitely need to practice battling more. Let's battle some more. I'm gonna beat you this time. I can feel the beginner's luck taking effect. Oh, you are on, mister. Or we could practice battling together, like on the same team, I mean. Seeing as this is a tag team thing anyway. That's a great idea. Tag team battles aren't really the norm after all. Most people don't know the important differences between them and regular battles. Most people, including me. Exactly, but luckily for you, you got something nobody else has. I paused, widening my eyes in anticipation. And that be? Duh, you got me. She seemed almost disappointed. I hadn't guessed that's what she meant. So am I. I'm very lucky to have her. So what you think? Practice as friends or enemies? Okay, let's see. Let's battle against each other. Well, remembering how our last battles went, I think we need more experience on that front. Yeah, we got our ass beat. Maybe we'll land more than one hit this time. We'll see about that. Pip pip. Actually, Piplup, I was thinking we could show off some of our other teammates this time. You know, to keep him on his toes. Piplup. Damn, I felt that, Piplup. You have been benched. Sorry, kid. Alright then, prepare to get thrashed. Defeat is the best teacher, or something. It's lucky they've always had a space for us here. I may have reserved a spot this and last time. So you knew I'd want to come here both times. Also, maybe not get Scyther out here so Baniri and I can beat ya. Baniri! Hey Baniri, remember Far? We're gonna show him what we're made of. Scyther. Hold on there, partner. First things first. I want you to guess what type Baniri here is. Ban! What type? Yes, Smarty, what type? Just want to make sure you don't expect a Razor Elite to come at ya. Oh boy, gonna get this wrong for sure. The type is Baniri. Normal. Normal? Yeah, awesome! Well, that's probably an easy one, but battling her won't be, I promise. Alright then, you know how this works, so get ready. To lose! Alright, your opponent this time is an adorable bun. You got this. Sigh! Yeah, she's probably pretty dangerous, but we can do this. With friendship or whatever. There. And I don't know what sound I give her. I hope I'm doing it right. I don't know, man. What are we doing here? Swords dance. Scyther, swords dance. Scyther moved his arms meditatively, spinning in place for a moment before adopting a fighting stance. If I didn't know better, I'd say he's been practicing that. Maybe just to look cooler, but the thought counts. Hey, just like last time, smart moves. Alright, Baniri, give him a dizzy punch. Aw, that sounds adorable. But I figure we should probably utilize dodging at some point. Dodge it, Scyther! Scyther clenched his fangs and looked at me with a scowl before returning his gaze to his opponent. But now he's prepping himself to try and block it. That's not what I said. Oh. Oh, I was wrong. Baniri came in swing. She used her ears to punch at Scyther in a way that would be cute if it didn't look and sound so painful. That's not what I said! Come on, boy, what are you doing? Scyther, Scyther! Look, I know you're awesome, but Dawn's Pokemon hurt a lot, okay? Let's say blocking for people more our skill level. Use those wings next time. Type. What are we doing here? Okay, we got a quick attack. Assuming Banir is slower than Piplup, we just might land a hit this time. Quick attack! Scyther quickly dashed forward, arms outstretched. It's faster than last time, but I can still keep track of him, and that probably means Baniri can too. This worked last time, so hopefully Dawn hasn't adapted yet. Baniri, bounce! Scyther! Baniri hopped into the air, but Scyther's speed combined with Sword's Dance's power worked wonders, and he swatted Dawn's companion out of the air. Then you slapped that bunny. Aha, you've fallen for one my tragedy yet again. Or have you fallen into our trap? Have I? Probably, we'll see. Baniri, Ice Beam! You turned my boy into an ice cube. Scyther. Maybe we should try something different. Scyther could probably be using his arms a little better here. Slicing with one arm works against an immobile target, but that's not what we've been facing so far. What did we talk about earlier? A Scyther hug? Could try that. Actually putting both arms to use might help land a hit. And what are we doing here? Well, our only option slash. Simple and effective. Let's try it out. Alright Scyther, slash him! Scyther dashed forward with a battle cry, arms behind him, and ready to strike. With his masculinity on the line, I'd expect this to hit pretty hard. Unfortunately, it looks like he's gonna be way too slow to connect the attack. Baniri, dodge him! Scyther, Scyther! I watched Scyther swing wildly at the tiny target in front of him, missing every strike entirely. Baniri nimbly and effortlessly hopped and ducked away from every attack thrown at her. This is not going well. What are you doing here? Try something new, Scyther! Scyther, use both arms! Keep her from getting away! I watched Scyther roll his eyes, looking down at his arms and readying himself. Baniri, Dizzy Punch! Man! Dude, hit her! Sigh! Scyther dashed forward, chopping at Baniri in both directions. New move! Evidently, she was getting a little too comfortable. She started to dodge one way only to be struck by Scyther's other blade. Baniri flew over to Dawn, landing on her back. She struggled to get up before giving up entirely, lying back down. Dawn rushed over to her as I clenched my fists and prepped for our next move. From across the room, Dawn helped Baniri sit back up. The Pokemon rubbed her head and got back to her feet as Dawn started to walk over to us. Wait. Did we win? I think we won. Yeah! I'm so proud of you guys. You really beat us. And we weren't even going easy on ya. See, you totally got this. You just gotta believe in yourself. And stay true to yourself or something. But oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you too. Baniri. Sorry Baniri, you did great too. But this is Beginner Boy here's first win. So he gets his props now. But we'll beat him good later. I'm still a little surprised myself. Pip up, pip up, pip pip pip. Scyther, Scyther. I think Piplup's proud of you too, Scyther. As prideful as he can be, Scyther looks pretty pleased with himself as Piplup showers on the praise. Shame about that dodge though. Oh my gosh, right. Yeah, that was a little embarrassing. Scyther sometimes thinks he knows better than me. Which, to be fair, is usually true, but I feel like dodging would have been the better option. Dodging is a useful ability. Doesn't take too much effort and it hurts a lot less than trying to block something, that's for sure. You're super awesome and everything, Scyther, but there are some pretty strong Pokemon out there. Unless you're made of metal, it's usually a good idea to try and get out of the way of attacks. Psych! That was good improvising back there too. What Scyther did is actually a bug type move, you know. Oh yeah? What, double slash or something? That makes sense, wouldn't it? It's actually called X-Scissor. Bug type. This is a whole lot of damage. And that's about all there is to it. Scyther learned X-Scissor. Good boy. Be sure to remember that for the contest. Whatever strategy you go with, dealing damage is usually going to be a part of it. Well then, glad we got that out of our system. Wanna take a breather? Dawn and I settled into a sitting corner of the arena lobby, sipping from bottles of water in silence for a few moments. Bottles thankfully provided for free by the ship. They cost 5 times as much as normal anywhere else on board, so that's nice. Maybe I should just not drink water anymore. It really needs it anyway. Maybe a water type. Maybe Piplup needs water. Alright, we're Grand Supreme Battle Masters now. Our contest opponents stand no chance. Congrats on the win again. I'm liking your big smile. Yeah. This was pretty exciting. Actually winning a fight is one thing, but against you, I'm doubly thrilled. Winning does that to a guy. We still remember our first real win, huh, Piplup? Piplup nodded excitedly, punching at the air in front of him in an adorably macho way. It was when we met Baniri, actually. I'll always remember that, especially after all the messy attempts that came before it. I might actually have you guys beat in terms of battle failures judging by my first bunch. Oh, don't start. I'll outfail you guys any day of the week. Except today. I tried and failed to hold back a smile from that. And hopefully also the day of the contest. Speaking of that, how are you feeling about the contest? Think we're ready? Well, I'm better than when we started. I think you've still got a lot of weight to carry to make sure I don't ruin everything. I'm pretty strong, so you'll be in good hands. So cutely smirked. Oh, she cutely smirked, looking down and lightly clenching her fists. Well, we're prepared about as much as we can before this thing, so hopefully it pays off at least a little bit. Telling me all about how these things helped a lot. I'm glad we were able to cook up a worthwhile performance for the two of us. Yeah, I don't usually get a chance to work with someone else to make a fancy showing. I just can't wait to put it into practice. This was a good way to get ready for tomorrow. I feel amped. Yeah, same. We'll win tomorrow, no problem. Will you still love me if we don't? Of course, you silly. They both yawned in unison. Returned Dawn smirk as the two of us waited for the other to say what we were probably both thinking. We should probably call it here then, huh? Yeah, today was pretty tiring. Dawn stood up, dusting her skirt off as Piplup skidded up her side to perch on her shoulder. Especially since we should be well rested and everything. Gosh, can you believe it's already here? Feels like just yesterday I had a great idea to sign you up without asking. I'll admit, the lead-up's been fun. I'm actually kinda excited to participate in this thing. If by that you mean get first place, then me too. Piplup! Hey, how about you stay with me in my room tonight? It'd save us the trouble of meeting up tomorrow anyway. Also, 'cause I kinda wanna keep hanging out tonight. Let's do it. Thumbs up and dumb smile. Dial it back, you moron. Awesome. Just follow me, alright? Come on, Piplup. Pip pip. We're gonna put you in the Pokeball, boy. Oh my gosh. Scyther. Scyther. I grin at Scyther, who knowingly returned a look of relation. Scyther tapped his Pokeball himself, warping into red light and returning to the ball. I guess to give me some privacy. Okay, let's go. I followed Dawn through the ship's maze of hallways towards her room. We must have passed hundreds of doors to other rooms by now, so I had to imagine they're pretty tiny. Hopefully there'll be floor space to sleep on. It'll just be nice to be in a quiet room for once on this trip. Especially since I'll be sharing it with Dawn. To my front, she turned her head to look at me, bumping into one of the walls in the miniature hallway we occupied. Prepare to be disappointed by the size of the room, by the way. My mom was using the term room lightly. Oh, I don't mind. I'm not expecting luxury. Well, you know how bad you're expecting it to be. It's even worse than that. Wow, alright. Glowing recommendation. Exactly. This is it up ahead. We approached the nondescript doorway like the many we'd passed on the way. Dawn produced a white keycard from somewhere in the clothing, inserting it into the door slot. After a few attempts, the light on the handle turned green with a click, and Dawn pushed the door open. Ta-da! Home sweet home! Room, sweet room. Or closet. Welcome to Chateau de Dawn. Wow, this is something. The room was essentially a closet. No bathroom, no chairs, just a fold-out bed and a table built into the wall next to it. Told ya. Now you see why I've almost never used it. I thought it was because I'm super cool. I gave her a sideways pouty face, hoping for a positive response. That too, actually. Even if we had a 5-star room, I'd be hanging out with you. It's quiet between us. I can hear Piplup scurrying around underneath us, somehow still full of energy after the day's events. The only other sound is our breathing. I listen to Dawn's repeated breaths, glancing up to see her biting her lower lip and looking out to the side. And the short distance between us is hard to ignore. We're on opposite sides of the room, yet nearly pressed up against each other in a room clearly meant for one. Hey! Fire. Thanks for hanging out with me this week. If you hadn't been getting me out and about every day, I'd probably have just spent this whole trip cooped up in here sulking. So I'm really glad we met. Thanks for spending so much time with me. Of course, this has been like the best week of my life. I've never met someone as nice and smart and pretty and thoughtful and funny and perfect as you. I wouldn't trade this moment for the world. I want to spend all our time together. I want to see you succeed and smile and be happy. You're welcome. Her smile faded. I locked eyes with Dawn, her face inches away from mine. She held the table behind her for support, her eyes twinkling and staring into mine between rapid blinks. Okay. We give her a smooch. Maybe I've been waiting this whole time for just the right moment. I think it's right now. I slammed my face forwards, nearly headbutting Dawn as I pressed my lips to hers. She lets out a sudden surprised breath before immediately kissing me back, her hands moving from the table to wrapping around behind my back. Her lips taste like sugar and strawberries. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just know I have to taste it more. I could feel her tighten her grip on me. I responded with my own embrace, finally running my hands along her, feeling the softness of her back and the warmth of her body. Dawn leaned back, pulling me with her as she fell off her feet and sat down on the tiny table below her. Tugging me in, she wrapped her legs around my waist and locked them together behind me, blissfully ensuring I couldn't pull away if I tried. Inhaling her scent, tasting her lips, exploring her body, I desperately tried to memorize every little thing about this moment. Our mouths opened little by little. Before the two of us pushed our tongues together, her mouth was as soft as the rest of her. I was completely entranced, collecting as much of Dawn's saliva as I could in my mouth. I felt it run down our faces, the two of us having no time to swallow. I held her close with one arm, her grip on me tightening on me as I moved to the other to run along her leg. Piplup! Dude, go back in your Pokeball! The two of us shot apart, looking to the floor beside us. Piplup had knocked over Dawn's backpack, sending a few Pokeballs clacking to the floor. Dawn and I glanced at each other, together wiping the drool from our faces and laughing nervously before we looked back down to Piplup. I let go of Dawn's side and pulled my hand out from under her skirt, clenching my hands into fists. That's a good expression from Piplup. Piplup stared me down, pointing directly at me with a flipper. Is he gonna kill me? Piplup, 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 With a sharp smile, he pointed his eyes, then to mine, and then tapped his own Pokeball, sending himself into red energy that disappeared into the ball. And suddenly Dawn and I were alone. Huh. And this is where I will end for today. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment what you think so far. And if you want to watch more videos of this visual novel, please take a look at the playlist down below. If you want to watch other visual novels, check my channel down below. Thank you, and take care.